So again, when we talk about an overseas operator coming in, we're just finding another way for us to give money to a company to send it overseas. Why is I want to see Night and Day do it. I want to see the warehouse do it. I want fucking iwi to decide that they want to get in on this.
So then there's a payoff, yeah. So and it doesn't have to be a binary. It can be anywhere on the spectrum. But if profits went offshore, but it made cost of living a lot better, would that be an okay trade-off? You know, so if it brought things down. Also, the things like Night and Day, and I mean, you can put Foursquare in there. Foursquares are pretty big these days. In the old day, in my day, Mangawhai Head's Foursquare was teeny. It was 2 aisles, and it was basically a glorified dairy. They're supermarkets now, but I forgot what I was gonna say. It jumped. Oh, that's right. Night and Days in particular. They are basically dairies. They can't compete. They won't compete. They face exactly the same problem as a brand new company coming in. They would need to spend tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on infrastructure because they're not big enough. I mean, if you're going to compete against Pack and Save or against Woolworths and New World, you know, how many items do those stores hold? 10,000?
Yeah.
Something. Night and Day can't do that as it is right now. So they still have the barrier of entry of infrastructure. The warehouse does not.
And I mean, when I talk about breaking up the duopoly as well, nobody knows what that looks like. It's a completely different thing to say something like telecom. We're going to split you into Chorus and Spark. It's a completely different thing to go to Woolworths, foodstuffs or whatever, and go, okay, so we're breaking you up. We need you to give up half of the locations. You know, we've got these, bringing a competitor in and they're going to buy half of your locations somehow. You know, how does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, Night and Day would have to go out and start buying up.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same barrier. Unless, of course, Night and Day bought, let's say, Fresh Choice. Then they could have the Fresh Choice infrastructure, but it's still the same barrier. And I'll say it for a third time. The only one at the moment in this country who doesn't seem to have that barrier is the warehouse. And I don't know what it's like around the country. I saw a few chats go past. Warehouse South Dunedin, there used to be 2 warehouses in Dunedin. Now there's only one. So the Warehouse Dunedin, they have a grocery section. I don't know whether that's a test case. We get our eggs from there because they're the best priced eggs, although eggs have done that kind of turnaround. I don't know whether that's a test case to see how it actually goes. It's not enough to be a shop. It's not enough items. And I think I just started an item. Was it Tane? When I asked how many items a supermarket says, I think Tane, and I'm assuming he's saying supermarket has 100,000 items.
Yeah, I can believe that.
That's unbelievable. It is believable. It's unreal. It's rather unbelievable. So maybe it's a test case. I don't know. But the problem we're always going to face is the size of our economy. Because for a group like Costco or whatever, the ones that are Alders in the UK or whatever, they look, do we want to drive $500 million into the New Zealand economy and get a 0.0001% return over the first 20 years? Or do we want to just keep driving things into our big countries where we get a much better return? It's just, this regulation thing is horseshit. It's bullshit. It's not the case. It's because, as I said, if we were the most profitable country in the world, they'd be kicking down the doors to be here. It's purely based on profits.
Yeah. And I think while we're apportioning blame out here, look, Labour's attempt to solve this was to appoint a supermarket czar who was going to be very, very scary and promise to clamp down and fine their supermarkets for super profits, and absolutely nothing happened. You know, they put prices down after the COVID lockdowns for a little bit. They highlighted some specials, and then they went back to business, and they're still doing super profits and that sort of thing. So, like, the government's going to wield a hammer or it's not, and it's very clear that this government doesn't give a shit. And I think this is going to be just another damp squib from Nicola Willis, who's made an announcement about an announcement. She's going to step away from it and say job done, and nothing's going to happen.